NVIDIA report. The NVIDIA reported sources GDDR7 chips from SK Hynix for RTX 50 series GPUs. SK Hynix and Samsung compete for NVIDIA's GDDR7 orders. Okay, NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 50 series, codenamed Blackwell, is known for being among the best graphic cards on the market, utilizing the Samsung's GDDR7 memory chips. However, the rival hardware leaker MegaSiege GPU reported the NVIDIA has allegedly begun sourcing a GDDR7 from SK Hynix as an alternative supplier. As per information from the leaker, NVIDIA has only recently begun using SK Hynix GDDR7 chips and in its Blackwell gaming graphic cards. Until now, the company has relied on the Samsung GDDR7 product. Reportedly, this change started with the launch of the GeForce RTX 5070, which hit the retail market last month. MegaSiege GPU didn't mention anything about the NVIDIA's abandoning the Samsung GDDR7 chips, so it's reasonable to assume that both Samsung and SK Hynix GDDR7 will coexist. It's not uncommon for manufacturers to change some of their product ingredients during their life cycle or find additional suppliers. SSD vendors often do it, interchanging SSD controllers and then the brand that may differ from the early product launched. These challenges sometimes occur due to the raw material availability, but more commonly, they are motivated by the matter pricing from alternative suppliers. In NVIDIA's situation, it's possible that the chipmaker could have secured a more favorable arrangement with SK Hynix. The NVIDIA has introduced the GeForce, the RTX 5090, and the GeForce RTX 5090D, and the 5080, the 5070 Ti, and the GeForce the 5070. The Blackwell graphic cards have 28 gigabps GDDR7 chips, except for the GeForce RTX 5080, which features the fast 30 gigabyte variant. The GeForce RTX 5060 Ti and the GeForce 6050 are not en route and are rumored to use 28 GB GDDR7. SK Hynix GDDR7 the product to scale up to the 32 GB and may even hit 4 Gbps under certain conditions, so SK Hynix can comfortably fulfill the NVIDIA's orders. The NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 50 series graphic card memory configuration. Okay, the Blackwell board design are compatible with the GDDR7 memory from the Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix, giving NVIDIA complete freedom to choose the supplier that offers the best deal. Although the Samsung was the preferred option for the initial launch of the Blackwell, it seems that SK Hynix has recently caught the NVIDIA's attention. NVIDIA's mainstream Blackwell graphic cards is the only product utilizing the GDDR7 memory. In contrast, AMD opted to continue with the GDDR6 for its RDNA4 architecture, positioning the NVIDIA as the biggest customer of the GDDR7 chips for this generation. So will adding the SK Hynix GDDR7 as another option benefit the consumers? Probably not. Even if the NVIDIA secures GDDR7 at lower prices, those savings are unlikely to reach the consumers, and undoubtedly NVIDIA will reduce the cost of the Blackwell graphics card since they are selling like hotcakes with the current pricing. Considering the current tariff situation, price decreases are even less probable. From a performance perspective, the choice between the SK Hynix and the Samsung in the Blackwell is insignificant. The change in the manufacturers won't substantially impact the Blackwell's performance or enable NVIDIA to give away free performance at low cost. Although the list, since not all the GDDR7 modules are identical, variation in some operation and overlooked opposition might exist. The first instance, DDR7 from a manufacturer might operate at a higher temperature or have a greater power consumption than that of the competitor. Alternatively, one brand might possess the higher overclocking headroom compared to another. Now, nevertheless, this question can only be resolved by comparing Samsung GDDR7 and SK Hynix GDDR7 on an identical graphic card. Considering the latest rumors, it shouldn't be long before SK Hynix variant live on the market. Okay. Next one is Kyocera AIO Core and Kyocera has announced the development of the PCIe 5.0 compatible broadband optical SSD for the next green tea data centers, replacing electrical wiring interface with the optical and utilizing the broadband optical SSD controller technology significantly increased the physical distance between the compute and storage devices. Kyocera Corporation and the AIO Corporation Ltd. and the Kyocera Operation announced the development of a prototype of PCIe 5.0 compatible broadband SSD with optical interface, broadband optical SSD. The three companies will develop the technology for broadband optical SSD to enhance their sustainable for advanced applications that require high speed and transfer of large data, such as Gen AI. Will also apply them to proof of concept POC test for future social implementation. The new product achieves the function of operator with a high-speed PCIe 5.0 interface, which is twice the bandwidth of the previous PCIe 4.0 gen, through the combination of the AI cores, the IO core optical transceivers, and the Kyocera opportunity to the optoelectric integration module technology. In next-gen green data centers, by replacing the electrical wiring interface with the optical and utilizing broadband optical SSD technology significantly increases the physical distance between the compute and storage devices, while maintaining the energy efficiency and high signal quality. It also contributes to the flexibility and efficiency of the data center system design, where digital diversification and the evolution of the Gen AI require complex, so the high volume and high speed data processing. The achievement is the result of the Japanese next generation clean data center technology development project JPNP 21 or 29. It is subsidized by the New Energy and Industry Technology Development Organization, NEDO, which is under the Green Innovation and Fund project, construction of the next generation digital infrastructure. In this project, companies will develop next generation technology with the goal of achieving more than a 40% energy saving compared with the current data centers. As part of this project, Kyocera is developed broadband and optical SSDs. AIO the core is developing the optoelectric fusion devices, and Kyocera is developing the optoelectric device packages. Okay, next article is TSMC faces $1 billion fine for making chips for blacklisted Huawei. The company is cooperating. TSMC may be hit with a fine exceeding $1 billion by the U.S. Commerce Department of unknowingly supplying Huawei a computer chiplet for the latter asset 910 series AI processor, Reuters report. Such a high fine would be a rare and perhaps a record, although it also appeared to elevate the volume of the chips that Huawei got from TSMC by deception. The potential $1 million more US dollar fine is based on the export rules for the allowed for penalties up to double the value of any unauthorized transaction. So far, no official action has been taken against TSMC, according to the report. In similar cases, the Commerce Department typically sends a document known as a proposed charging letter, listing violation data and transaction values and fine calculations. The company then given 30 days to respond. A past case in 2023 saw the CH fined $300 million for sending a hard disk drives worth $1.1 billion to Huawei. Last year, it turns out a computer chip letters TSMC made for a Softgo, an allied cryptocurrency mining hardware supplier Bitmain, was actually a computer chiplet for Huawei's Ascend 910 series processor for AI. Huawei has been the U.S. Department of Commerce entity list since mid-2020, and a company like TSMC need to apply for an export license from the U.S. DOC to apply the Huawei product containing American technologies, which includes making chips using tools developed and made by the U.S.-based companies. So the after-tech site revealed Huawei's high silicon Ascend 9 and 10 series used the chiplet. TSMC suspended its shipment to a Softgo and is now working with the Department of Commerce on the matter. In January, Softgo was placed in the U.S. DOC list. However, it remains unclear how many chips TSMC produced indirectly for Huawei. The TSMC is given the chip designed to produce. It cannot be determine its original developer as well as its end purpose and user. Therefore, the mistake that one of the companies made was the Softgo can be made. However, the Ascend 900 series computer chiplet should probably have triggered alarm as it contained tens of billions of transistors, and that is, it was hard and expensive to develop. Yet, it came from a little-known company affiliated with the Bitcoin mining hardware designer. This certainly made the U.S. Department of Commerce, which has done a lot to the curb sales of advanced AI processors to Chinese entities, particularly angry, as some estimated that Softgo procured millions of chiplets for Huawei. Since the scandals with the Softgo emerging in the fall 2024, TSMC has become much more cautious. Earlier this year, the company ceased this relationship with Singapore-based Power AI after the internal investigation raised concern about possible violations of U.S. export controls. One of the problems of the TSMC is that Huawei seems to have third-party companies that disguise themselves in an independent chip designer to obtain chips made by world-class companies like TSMC. So the Huawei itself does everything it can do. Everything he can to hide the origin of those chips in the bid to keep getting them, despite the restriction imposed by the U.S. government. As a consequence, TSMC and other chip makers may fall victims of Huawei's deceit. Next is the ST released SM32MP23 microprocessor and extended the support for OpenST Linux. ST Microelectronics has announced mass market availability of the new STM32MP23 general-purpose microprocessors (MPUs). The device combines high-temperature operation up to 125 degrees Celsius with the speed of efficiency of the dual Cortex-A35 cores, providing a combination of the improved performance and just ruggedness for industrial Internet of Things, edge compute, advanced HMI, and machine learning applications. Join the STM32MP25 series launched in 2024. These MPUs contain dual 1.5 GHz ARM Cortex-A35 cores, 400 MHz Cortex-M33 for real-time applications, and a neural network accelerator with 0.6 TOPS performance. There is also a 3D graphic processor, H.264 decoder, and VPCSI2 camera interface with raw data support. So the dual gigabit Ethernet port with the time-sensitive networking TSN and the two CAN FT interfaces. Combining the diverse processing resources and optimized on-chip features STM32MP23 series support numerous sensing and processing and data handling roles across the smart factories, smart cities, and smart homes, and with the neural engine and brain AI and machine learning capability. These NPUs handle intuitive and adaptive HMIs and vision-based interaction and predictive maintenance. The H.264 decoder supports up to 1080p 60 video resolution, and the 3D GPU handles a high-performance real-time graphics with support for open source framework including OpenGL and OpenCL and Vulkan. The STM32MP23 series target SIP3 already achieved full STM32MP25 NPUs and PSA Level 1 certifications. Protection features including secure boot and ARM Trust Zone architecture, secure key storage, and tamper detection with hardware cryptographic accelerators. Coinciding with the STM32MP23 release, STM is also extending support for each release of the OpenST Linux distribution from 2 years to 5 years. The enhanced support ensuring stability for customers throughout development and extended access to the latest security patches, easing the compliance with the EU Cyber Resilience Act (CRA). As commitment to maintain the ST Linux let developers work comfortably with popular framework including Yocto and Buildroot and OpenWRT and OpenST Droid, and helps accelerate time to market. So the additional benefit of the developers, including 3 BGA package options, offer the choice of the high-density 0.5mm interconnected pitches or 0.8mm pitches that allows simplified 4-layer PCBs with plated through holes. And the 3 packages are the pin-to-pin compatible with the STM32MP25 NPUs. The device operates over the industrial temperature range from -40 degrees Celsius to 125 Celsius maximum junction temperature. That's it. Next there is some QI profit to the drop 21% of the weak AI chip sales foundry losses. And Samsung has been grappling with the falling the chip profits since the middle of the last year as it fell behind the key rival SK Hynix in supplying the high-performance memory chips to AI chips leader NVIDIA. And Samsung Electronics is expected to the forecasted 21% drop in the first quarter profit on Tuesday, hurt by the sluggish sales of artificial intelligence chips and continuous losses in digital contract chip manufacturing business. The world's biggest maker of the memory chips in the midst of the RAIN management reshuffle following the sudden death of the CEO Han Zhongheng in late March, is due to report the preliminary first quarter earnings on Tuesday. And the Samsung has been grabbing the falling chips profits since the middle of the last year as it fell behind key rivals SK Hynix in supplying the high-performance memory chips to AI chip leaders and NVIDIA. Its struggle in the high-end market has left the South Korean tech giant heavily reliant on the customers in China looking for less advanced products that are not subject to U.S. export restrictions. The Liu Zhongho, the senior analyst in energy investment and securities, estimated that AI chips demand from China's customers dropped in the first quarter after the front-loading in the previous quarter in the anticipation of the more U.S. sales restrictions. The share of the HBM chips in the Samsung's overall DRAM shipment may have declined slightly in the first quarter, leading to the expected decrease in the DRAM profitability. He said, referring to high bandwidth memory HBM chips used to make an AI chipset. Samsung is projected to report $5.2 trillion as mean or the 3.62 billion US dollars in the January-March quarter operating profit, as according to the LSEG Smart Estimate, and reported a 6.6 trillion won profit in the same period a year ago. While Samsung is working on the redesigned version of its most advanced HBM chips to supply key clients and in the relatively heavy exposure to commodity chips had been its profitability more vulnerable to volatile prices, analysts said. So the prices of some DRAM chip DRAM memory chips widely used in the smartphone and PCs fell by about 25% in the first quarter of the year, and the prices for the NAND flash chips used in their storage fell around 50% during the same period, according to the TrendForce data. As a result, Samsung is expected to underperform the SK Hynix, whose profit is expected to more than double from a year earlier. And the LSGS data showed benefiting from the robust AI chip demand. Sweeping the reciprocal tariff imposed by the U.S. President Donald Trump on its trading partners are also set to raise costs for Samsung's various products, ranging from the smartphone to TVs, laptops, and home appliances. Samsung could look to diversify its production base as part of its mid to long-term strategy. However, that isn't something that can be done within a year or two, said Jeff Game is head of the research and Cape Securities. If tariffs on the consumer electronic devices such as smartphones and purses, they will inevitably impact consumer demand in its construction chip manufacturing business. Samsung is likely to further delay the start of its U.S. factory in 2027 from 2026, as it has yet to win its major production orders, keeping its foundry business in the red. Analysts said Samsung originally planned to open the plant in 2024. Estimated Q1 operating profit of Samsung's chip division was 1.7 trillion won, according to the LSGEG data, versus 1.9 trillion won a year ago. The Samsung's mobile and network business is likely to report 3.7 trillion won in profit, up from the 3.5 trillion won a year ago, helped by increased by smartphone shipment plunge in a local currency that increases repatriated earnings. So the next one is a new DRAM Plus memory designed to provide DRAM performance with SSD-like storage capability using the FE RAM tech. The hafnium oxide FE RAM can combine high capacity and non-volatility. Okay. Ferroelectric Memory Co. company FMC has joined forces with Newmont to establish production of the so-called DRAM Plus in Germany. It's been a while since Infineon and Qimonda developed and produced dynamic random access memory in Germany, as it became particularly unprofitable to build a commodity memory in Europe. However, the new FMC and the Newmont venture will focus on a volatile FE RAM aimed at specific applications. FMC specializes in memory that is usually ferroelectric hafnium oxide FaO2 to create a DRAM plus that retains data without power. The technology replaces the typical capacity in the DRAM with a non-volatile version, so the keeping performance high while adding energy efficiency and data retention. FMC believes that its memory could be used for a wide range of applications, including the AI, automotive, consumer, industrial, and medical. So the older FE RAM technology, typically using the lead, the zirconated titanium or PGT, as the ferroelectric layers were limited in capacity. Most commercial products topped out of a few megabytes with 4 megabytes or 8 megabytes being quite common. PGT does not scale well with the shrink process node in integration with the standard CMOS processes difficult and costly. As a result, cell construction like a T1T1C, one register, one capacitor, consumed more area than a DRAM or an NAND. So this move to the hafnium oxide is a game changer. FaO2 is CMOS compatible, scaled well below 10 nanometer, and can be integrated with existing semiconductor manufacturing processes. Therefore, its usage enables higher density and performance potentially in the gigabyte and gigabyte range, putting it closer to DRAM. The FMC was founded to exploit the disruptive invention of the ferroelectric effect of the FA02 for semiconductor memories applied to a DRAM, and it turned a DRAM capacitor into low-power, non-volatile storage devices while maintaining the high DRAM performance to produce a disruptive non-volatile DRAM memory lighter for AI compute, explained Thomas Lucas, CEO of FMC. Since our technology is unique in the market and the cost-effective testing of our memory production is great importance of our product offering. So with NeuMoDa and its radically new approach to testing, we have found a partner that can help us to speed up the development of our product. So we also are excited to work with NeuMoDa as we share the common vision to bring memory back to Europe. NeuMoDa will support FMC by consulting and providing access to each advanced test system, Rhinos, Octopus, and Raptor. These platforms are designed for low cost and energy efficiency and independent memory testing. So NeuMoDa system offers detailed analysis is not possible with the traditional equipment and operating at a significantly lower cost. Together, the two companies are advancing a new memory product and also laying the ground for broader revival of the European semiconductor capabilities. Their combined efforts aim at build a new local ecosystem for advanced memory design and testing. So as our test platforms are maturing, the FMC's product are an ideal test ground to prove capabilities to Rhino, Octopus, and Raptor testers, as well as the high-quality yield they enable, explained Peter Poetry-Muller, CEO of the NeuMoDa. One of our partners' goals behind the founding of NeuMoDa was to bring a semiconductor memory back to Europe. With this collaboration, we take a big step closer to the establishing new German memory manufacturers. So listen, Anton Shilovo is contributing a writer at Tom's Hardware over the past couple of decades. He has covered everything from CPUs and GPUs and supercomputers and modern as process technologies and lattice fab tool is a high-tech industry trend. The Chinese chip maker unveiled Octane-like storage class memory. Okay. Yeah. Next one is quite old article at 2024. Chipmaker Marvell is now more valuable than Intel amid the AI boom. Marvell stock is boosted by the glowing Q3 result and optimistic Q4 outlook. What just happened? The share of the American chipmaker Marvell Technology surged to a record high weekend following the positive Q3 result and an upbeat Q4 forecast. After briefly touching $1.2 billion in Wednesday, the company's market cap settles at market cap is $98.22 billion, higher than Intel's $90.23 billion to $3 billion. Marvell headquarters in Santa Clara, California, was founded in the mid-90s, making it much younger than Intel, which has been operated since the 1960s. Marvell develops custom semiconductor products that have seen a surge in demand in recent months due to the AI boom. And the company's Q3 2025 earnings beat the analyst expectation, leading to a massive surge in stock prices. Its revenue of $1.52 billion is 7% higher year over year, mainly driven by the better sales and robust demand from the AI sector. The Marvell also issued impressive Q4 guidance and projected $1.8 billion in revenue and 60% of the non-GAAP gross margin. The Marvell offers a broader product portfolio, data infrastructure, semiconductor solutions spanning computing and networking, security, and storage, and makes an infotainment and connectivity solution for automotive sectors. ASIC chips for wire and wireless networking and data center switches, data processing unit. DCI optical modules is a component that control storage oscillators and impedance amplifiers and more. Marvell designed most of its products for data centers, cloud, the operators. However, it made chips for consumer devices prior to 2017, and when Synaptics acquired for the power of business. So Marvell consumer centric chips, including the Armada 5000 and Mini SoC 880DE 3005, and Armada 5000 Mini Plus SoC 880DE 3006, which power the Chromecast first gen and end gen models. The company also supplied the Wi-Fi chips for the first generation iPhones and almost 2 decades ago. So while mobile enjoyed the benefit of the AI boom and the cost is getting deeper by day, the Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger recently resigned following another disappointing quarter, while its stock price currently down to nearly 70% from its all-time high. The company laid off the 50% of its staff in August to reduce cost. Last month, the chipmaker lost its spot in the Dow Jones Industrial Average to NVIDIA. So the feature of this, okay. Today, thank you for your time and see you next time.